Hi, Eric Gibaud, Gibaud.com, and today for me this is a really special day because my first day with my Hasselblad 907X and digital back I will also use on my Hasselblad analog Hasselblad. But this is not for this or that I make this video. This is to speak about something many people have been asking for a long time. Eric, please present a Lightmeter. So Sekonic sent me this Litemaster L-478D and also the 5-degree viewfinder that I've got here. Okay, so we're going to speak about it. So let's start. Actually, I will make two separate videos. This is the first one. It is to present this Lightmeter because many people have never seen one before. So I will explain the main features because this one is packed with features, what you can do with it, okay? And I'll make a separate video to show how to use a Lightmeter in general, not just this one, but the idea is I will use this one to show it, but how to you actually measure light, reflected, incident, all this, okay? So they will be separate because it will be too long to do everything in one, okay? As you can see, this Lightmeter has a screen. This is a touchable screen, and here we have two problems. The first one, I'm sunburning my forehead, and the second, I need to show you the screen. So here with so much light you will not see anything, so we're going to go to a better area for my forehead, okay, and for you to see. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Small button, and here it's a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video, so you will not miss the video where I speak about how to measure in general with a Lightmeter. So let's carry on. So I'm not going to do an unboxing, but I still tell you what comes in the box, okay? Here, first you have the Lightmeter, you have a strap to have it hanging from your neck, typical from a director of photography, that hanging of photographers, okay? And here, well, from here, no, from the neck, better, okay? You have a small pouch, so you can keep it here, you can actually pass it through your belt if you want, okay? Then you have a small instruction manual, I would say startup guide maybe. You can download from the website of Sekonic, the full manual, okay? And here also something you cannot see is there's a screen protector that comes with it, anti-reflection, so you can place it so it will help avoid reflection, okay? So that's it for this. And for the optional 5-degree viewfinder, here you get a small pouch like this. That's it, and so we can start using it. So let's make a quick visit. Here's the Lightmeter. Here you have a lumisphere, which is you can have it in or out. If you're going to measure light for a 3D object like a person or whatever that is 3D, get this out so it will measure this way, okay? But on the other hand, if you measure something for something flat like a painting, you can get it in here, okay? So you have the same aspect of light, or the light will hit the object, okay? And if you're actually measuring light for flash, you have several flashes, okay? You could switch each flash one by one, but you see it's better to do it all at the same time, but you have the light measure for each of them. So you get this in, so they will not contaminate. You point at the flash and then to the other one, then to the other one, and they don't contaminate each other, okay? Here you have a memory button. Here you have a USB, micro USB connector, so you can load a profile you've prepared on a computer. Here you access the battery compartment. It works with two AAA battery, okay? Here you have a memory button. Here you have the switch on button. Here you have the menu button. Here you have the measure button, okay? Here at the bottom you have also this, which is a PC connector. For some flashes you want to connect directly to this, and actually you can control the flash directly and trigger the flash directly, okay? We won't see it because I don't have the flash like this, okay? And also there are several type of L-478 important. One of them is compatible, well, it's compatible, you can use it with the Pocket Wizard trigger. It means you will be able to control the Pocket Wizard directly from this, okay? It's not this one, they have another one, so if you have Pocket Wizard, check for the right model, okay? For many people that doesn't make sense to use a Lightmeter. Why? Because they believe they have a Lightmeter in the camera, and with that, that's okay. Any digital camera has a Lightmeter in there, and also many analog cameras, film cameras also have Lightmeter. But they forget one important thing. Your camera only measure reflected light. This means that if I am making a picture of a dark subject or object, then I get less light that is reflected, according to what the camera is saying. If it's a light color, white, then I get more light that is reflected. But I don't know the true amount of light. With the light meter, you can measure the reflected light using the viewfinder I'll show you after, but you can also measure the incident light. It means when I measure, I know exactly the amount of light regardless of what it is reflected on. Okay, so this is why nowadays it's still important. And something else, when you make flash photography, your camera cannot measure light for flash. Well, if you're on TTL, yes, it does measure for itself, okay, but you doing trial and error. You make a picture, see if you like it, you don't like it, if it's okay, it's not okay, all this. If you have several flash units, it becomes a nightmare. With this, you point, light, 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 and you know exactly the amount of light you have without having even switched on the camera, okay? So yes, 2022, using a light meter still makes a lot of sense. So first thing you're going to do is switch on the light meter here, you switch on button here, then you get a screen with some information, but you need to tell the light meter how you want it to measure, okay? You know about the triangle of exposure, where you have three possibilities: ISO, speed, shutter speed, and aperture. You give two of them and it asks you to calculate the third one. If you give ISO and speed, we'll calculate the aperture. If you give speed and ISO and speed and aperture, will calculate the speed, and so on. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is to go here. You have some information, okay, but first you need to tell how to calculate. So you're going to go here at the top, and then you get two columns. The one on the left here refers to ambient light. No artificial light, no ambient light, could be artificial, but ambient light, not flash. And the right column to flash, okay, measurement, okay. So we're going to have we're going to see how it works, but basically first you have to pick one of these. So here in the menu, basically you have T, that would be you indicate shutter speed and ISO, and it will give you, it will calculate the aperture. Then F, you indicate the aperture and the ISO, it will calculate the speed. Then you have TF, it means if you want, for example, to control the depth of field, and also if you freeze the action, or on the other hand, you want a long exposure, okay, you will indicate aperture and speed, and it will calculate the ISO. Then you have the video mode. So here you have to calculate here the frame rate you're actually using. Then you have the cine mode. So instead of a frame rate, you indicate the angle, the shutter angle. And then you have the lux, that tells you exactly how much light you get in lux. Just measure, it gives you in lux, okay? Then you have a flash part. So you have the normal flash. The only thing is really similar, except that when you press to measure, it will wait for 30 seconds until your flash triggers, and will measure on the fly, okay? The flash has four types. You can use a flash, and also what would be on average, calculate the difference, the balance between how much light you get from the flash and how much light you get from the ambient light. So it means, like, if I want to have 100% flash, I will have a dark ambient light, okay, dark area, and just a flash will be lit, okay? And if you want like 50-50, you can calculate, so it will tell you the difference, the balance between both of them, so that's great. And you have the continuous light also to do something similar, to calculate how much light you get and calculate the differences, okay? So we're going to do a simple example of measuring with the aperture and the ISO. It will calculate the speed, okay? So I'm going to press here, okay? I select F here, okay? Here I've selected f4 because my camera is on f4, 100 ISO, and I'm going to measure light. Okay, see the ambient light that comes here, 1/8 of a second. If I measure in the other way towards the camera, in this situation I actually get the same amount of light, because I mean the shade and everything is okay. We'll see just after why in this situation sometimes reflected using the viewfinder for reflected light may be interesting, okay? So 1/8 for me is too little. It's not enough, because imagine I don't have a tripod, or it's really windy and the trees are moving, okay? So I think it's too little. So I want to put I don't want to change the aperture. I want to put the ISO up, okay? So I just touch the screen. I'm going to put it on 800 ISO, for example, okay? Automatically it tells me I should have been on 1/60th of a second. This is that easy, okay? So you cannot miss. It's like this, okay? So now we're going to check. So let's make a simple example. Right now, I'm pointing at the floor, which is dark, okay, with the leaves or this. And it says here, the light I get here, okay. Sorry. Oh, some light just arrived right now, okay. Okay, as before it says 1/8, okay, f400 ISO 1/8, okay. I place this on my camera, it says underexposed. So I'm going to believe what my camera says. I'm going to change to get it properly exposed, okay. And it tells me I should be on 1/4 of a second, okay. I made the picture. And what I see is a lot lighter, a lot more light than reality, okay? And actually, I also have overexposed warning on the picture, okay? So now I'm going to place, to input what my light meter is saying, which is 1/8 of a second. Okay, let's make the picture. Exactly like reality, okay? I don't have the overexposed warning anymore, all this. So, that was right. So now I've turned around and you see the road, and here we have a massive problem. You have really dark area, really light area in the background there, and my camera is in spot metering, measuring at the end, and it tells me I should be, well, not exactly on the lightest part. I should be a bit better there, okay. It's going to tell me exactly the light I should get, okay. Make the picture, okay. But then, there's a problem, because there are some areas that are really dark, some areas that are really light, some areas that, and that's a big problem. Maybe this is more than the dynamic range of my camera, and it's impossible to get the highlights and the shadows right, okay? So with my camera, if I don't have it on a tripod, I should actually point at different areas, make different light measuring, and compare, and decide. Will I do on HDR, not the funny color, but the real HDR, and stack the picture together with several pictures, deciding on which area, but I would have to move my camera every time. So for this, you have this optional lifesaver viewfinder, 5-degree viewfinder. By the way, here the sphere, you can actually orient it as you want, okay? You don't, if you're on the screen, you don't have to, if you want to see the screen at the same time, you can simply orient it, okay? So you remove the sphere here, and you place this 5-degree viewfinder in there, okay? And now I can do spot metering. So I would say I'm going to measure light, okay, there in the back, in the really light area, it tells me I should be on 1/30 of a second. Here in the really dark area, 2 seconds. Obviously, I have to calculate if my camera can cope with this dynamic range. If my camera can cope with that, I can get back my highlights and my shadows, then with one shot that's fine. But if it's more difference than what my camera let me do, then I've got a problem. I need to make several pictures, do an HDR, stack pictures together. So to know what exposure I should have, I simply measure each area I'm interested in. This one 2 seconds, this one 1/60th now because sun's back, okay? So I can measure on the road, for example, 1/15th, on the mud here, 1/4, and the trees, 1/15th, all there. So I would make several pictures according to what my measure is telling, what my light meter is telling. So this is really easy. Otherwise, if you don't have this, you should point your camera at several areas, write everything down, all this. If you want to make just one shot, it can calculate an average, okay? If it's within the possible dynamic range, that's fine, but otherwise it will be a problem. So this is why landscape photographers, they really need this, a spot meter, to really calculate each area and decide what to do. Do I make just one shot and I can get everything back in post-production, or should I make several pictures and stack them together? Really useful accessory. Okay, for flash photography, I don't have external flash with me right now, where I am. I've got them at home, obviously, but I'm going to use my Fujifilm X100V to have a look, okay? So first you go in the menu, as I said before, you pick the flash, okay? You indicate the speed and the ISO. The speed, this synchronizes up to 1/2000th of a second. It has a leaf shutter and the Hasselblad also, but I'm going to put the same as I would do on my Olympus OM1, okay? 1/250th of a second, okay? Then when I'm going to press here, okay, my screen is going to, well, the screen is going to dim, so it doesn't interfere with any measuring, because maybe you're doing in really dark ambient light and really little light, just a bit of flash, and don't want this to interfere, okay? So let's, and then the small lighting on the corner will blink, okay? So I press here, okay? Okay, it says F8, and here it says 100%. As you can see, sorry, as you can see, it says 100% in the corner. It means all the light it got was from the flash, okay? Let's put a bit further right now, okay? I'm going to press here, okay? It says F4, and then it says 90%. As you can see, it balances the amount of light coming from the flash and from the ambient light. It means this is really important for you when you make pictures to know if you have more ambient light or more flash or whatever, if you want just flash, more ambient light, if it's fill light, if it's main light, all this. So this is a fantastic feature. So you can see how easy it is, okay? I could make a video of 3, 4, 5 hours speaking about all this, the possibility of this light meter. I'm going, so I'll show you the main one. Obviously, someone who would be interested in this flash meter would probably get and read the manual and test everything. But something that's simple, like let's say you have a filter here, an ND filter that cuts light, and you're using an analog camera. So you use, without any light meter in there, you use your manual light meter. You have to calculate that there is an ND filter that cuts light there. Well, you could actually go here, okay? And well, I press here, okay? And indicate the filter value, so it will give you the right result straight away. So this is fantastic. You don't make mistake because you forgot there was a filter, okay? Then, for example, let's say you're using actually things like CTO gel. That actually change the color of light, but it also cuts a bit. You can also get there and set it, all this. You can actually set specific for analog photography, everything you can configure, and you can make different profiles. It means when I use such camera with such film or such light or such whatever, you can have a profile specific to it. So this is fantastic. There are so many features in there, so I'm not going to get into all of them, but I can tell you this is the first time I see such a precise tool to measure light. It's really complete. It's not very hard to use, honestly. Although you see so many options, you get a bit lost at the beginning, but it's really logical, well placed, well organized. So this is the tool I think any photographer and videographer needs, honestly. So my conclusion, I could spend more hours because there are many features and options and all this. This is really a really complete tool, okay? But I think I've showed you the most important ones. I will make more videos with it anyway. So let's speak about the pros, okay? First, I love that it gives you the percentage of the balance between ambient light and flash. This is fantastic for what I do. I love it. Second, it can calculate the difference between two light sources, like two flashes. It calculates the difference. I didn't show you, but it is there. It's really useful. Third, it can calculate the average light. So it means if you want to make just one picture, not two, not an HDR, all this, it can help you deciding the exact exposure for the average among different light sources. Okay, so this is really good. The optional 5-degree viewfinder is really useful. I love that it is possible to have it. I really like it. I really love that you can do filter compensation or analog photography calculation, scale things, all this. You can have everything ready to suit your needs and for each situation, and you can create profiles so you access them directly. So it is really a perfect tool for measuring light. I really love this, okay? You have a memory too, so you have everything you need. The only con, which is not really a con, really. We're so used to a smartphone with a really touch screen that is really fast, all this, that when you get this screen, it's like slow, or not slow, it's like hard to move, okay? I was a bit surprised. And then I realized why it's like this. It means this way you don't accidentally move any setting on the screen, okay? But at the beginning we'll say, oh, it's a bit hard. No, it's not hard. It's made for that. So that was the only surprise I had, really. But I really love this tool and I can only recommend it. If you like to buy a light meter like this, I'll leave you links in the description of where you can buy it. So thank you so much, Sekonic, for sending the light meter. Remember, there's another video explaining more how to measure everything in many kind of situation, okay, coming soon. Thank you to you for watching the video. If you feel it may interest other people, please share it on social networks. If you have not done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Small button down here is a small bell. If you click on the bell, get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgibaud.com. If you have any question, can leave a comment below. Also leave you links of Margie on Amazon, links of everything I reviewed by K&F Concept, and Flashes by Westcott, and also a link to my PayPal account in case you wanted to make a donation. Thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and see you soon. Bye.